What's the most important tool you need when fabricating stone countertops? Whether it's in the home or at a shop pushing out 3 kitchens a day, the Makita SJS is probably the #1 tool I use in my business. Today I'm going to be giving you some details and information about the Makita and how to use it. Coming up. The Makita SJS High Performance Angle Grinder is something we use every day in our granite shop. I'm going to give you some actual details about it, and I'm going to tell you some things in my terms. I bought this off of my tool truck last week, and I figured we would leave it in the box so I could show you guys everything that comes with it. So we're going to open this box up. I'm going to try to open this box up. And what you see when we open the box, they're all packaged just like this. So you get your handle, you get a blade to cut metal with, you get the instruction booklet, you get the grinder itself. This is the wrench you use to take your tools on and off with, and I'll show you how that works. And you also get a protection device that clamps on the grinder here. As you can see, I've got several Makitas laid out here. They are my #1 tool. You can get these online. I saw anywhere from $160 to $200. I also saw that you can get the refurbished for around $100. I buy mine from a company called Braxton & Bragg. It's where I buy 90% of my tools from. This last one here I got off Levi. I buy my sinks from them. You can find them online also. I paid about $5 more for it from Levi than I did from Braxton & Bragg. You can go to braxtonandbragg.com and check them out if you want to buy one. The wrench here, it comes with these, I don't know what you would call them, locking devices. You just take that, it's got 2 little holes, and these 2 little feet fit in those holes and allow you to spin that off. That comes off. These have little notches in it here that fit onto this. So when you slide that on, you don't have any play. And say you were using this metal cutting blade here. What you would do, once you got this one on here, you would slide this metal cutting blade on, and then you'll slide this on here, get it tight. It's got a little button in the back here that locks it into place. Once you lock it into place, you take this, put it in your holes, and just tighten her down. When you want to take it off, you just do the opposite. Now if you use these things every day like I do, you end up just using your hand and not using the little wrench and all that. Also, the guard here, it's very nice for people that can actually use a guard. It's got some little notches here, and they're just going to slide right onto this, and then you would lock it down, and then it would protect your eyes. It slides on over that, and then you pull that down. You got a little screw here to tighten it up for however you need it, and that's going to prevent your debris from flying and hitting you in the face or anything else. As you can see, I'm not real familiar with the guard, I can't use the guard for what I do because of the way I hold my grinder, and I'll show you that. The Makita grinder weighs right at 4 pounds. I think the shipping weight with the blade and the wrench and handle and all that, I think it comes in at 7.3 pounds. I'm holding this in my hand probably 25% of the time I'm at work, so I don't need anything super heavy. I take my handle and I put mine on backwards from what other people do. It's got a little hole here, it's got a screw here. I just screw that in there. A lot of people call it training wheels because they don't like to use the handle, but I like my handle. The only problem I ever run into when fabricating granite with this is the metal top here. It'll leave metal marks on my stone. So the way I keep that from happening is I just get me some blue tape. We put it over it just like that right there. I usually put a couple pieces. Now when I'm cutting, the tape rubs my stone rather than the metal. The SJS on this super joint system. Basic terms on what that means. When you're cutting, the grinder's not going to jump on you, and it's not going to bind those gears up, so it's going to make the grinder last longer. The most important feature for fabricating stone, quartz, anything like that on this grinder is this little thing right here. It's got a 1, goes all the way up to 5. That's your speed or your RPMs on this grinder. It goes from 2,500 on 1 all the way up to 10,500. When you're polishing, I run it on about 1.5. If I'm cutting, I run it on 5. Zero tolerance wheel, stones, somewhere around 1.5, 2. Also, your on and off switch is on the side right here. You push it up, it locks into place. So you can turn this on, you can hold it out here, you can hold it like this, it will keep running. Some grinders I've used before, it's got its power source here and it's got a little switch and you have to physically hold it down all the time. You do not have to do that here. I've also used grinders that does not have the variable speed and it runs at full blast all the time. I've even had them that run too fast for my blade, so I couldn't use them for anything. This is hands down the best grinder I have ever used in the granite world. This grinder is so good, I swear to God I'm working on a tattoo to incorporate this onto my arm with a diamond blade on it and all that. So what I've got set out here in front of me is several different Makita grinders. This one here I use for cutting backsplash. I cut sinkholes out with it. I cut basically anything. I make ashtrays with this. This is a 5-inch diamond blade. You just put it on there. You use your little tool like I showed you. Tighten it down. You want to make sure it's nice and snug before you fire it up. And as you can see, I don't have a guard on this one. The reason being, with the guard, when I go to cut, I hold this thing upside down like this. And that guard will prevent me from doing it. I have to be able to cut all the way through my stone, and I might be able to get a 1/4 inch if I put that guard on there. I run that one on 5. Now, if I so wanted to, I could use this one grinder and switch my head on it every time I wanted to use something different, and it would last. These grinders I've had for a year. The only thing that goes bad on them is the brushes. That's the electrical component inside of it, and you can buy a box of brushes for about $3 and replace it in about 10 minutes flat. Very rarely do I have anything else go wrong with these things. This one here, I've got my polisher on it, my backer pad. So if I want to take this backer pad off, I just push my button right here, lock it into place, turn it, take it right off. Doesn't require any wrench or any tool to hold this piston here so that I can take things on and off. If I release the button, spins freely. Push my button back down, tightens right on there. This one here, I have a 0 tolerance wheel on it. This is to do the inside of my sink radiuses and inside radius on my perimeter countertops. I also put my 3/4 and 4-inch radius on the outside. With this one, I'll be holding the grinder like this and working on the edge of things. So, same thing, I can push that button, pop that off, or I can put it back on. This one here, I've got set up with a stone. This stone, once I cut 0 tolerance stone, I use this to smooth out the stone, roll the top edge over. If I've got to grind something down on the surface, I use this stone here. So, as you can see, I use this sucker for everything. And at 160 bucks, I think is what I gave for this brand new one. There's nothing you can buy at that price for the Granite World that compares to this. I will honestly never buy a different kind of grinder to use. We own a shop here and we're putting out 3 to 4 kitchens a week. I have worked at granite shops where we were putting out 1,250 to 1,500 square feet a week, and we use the same grinder. They just stand up to the test. I think I've covered everything about these grinders. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will answer them. You can Google this Makita grinder SJS online and it will tell you all the different specs. It's just an all-around great grinder. I don't think you could find anything better. I've yet to. If anybody knows anything, put that in the comments and I will definitely give it a try. We are not sponsored by Makita. I know this is a great commercial for them, but I speak the truth and I really like this product and I wanted to do a video on it. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this is Mike. We're out.